Hello, welcome yet again to another episode of Chomba Talk. Today we are recording at Promise Place. Promise Place is located along Nanyuki Nyeri Nairobi Highway, and it is on your left hand side as you drop towards Makutano Junction, where there is a junction that branches off to Mwea. Just before you get to that junction, there is a petrol station called Promise Place. And in that place, if you grace us, you will enjoy our hospitality that ranges from the best washrooms, restrooms that are available on this route, and they are free. You can come and even take a shower. We have even hot showers in our restrooms. You can also visit our restaurant. You can have a bite on your way as a stopover. You can also have your car washed in our executive car wash, and you can as well refuel on your way back to Nairobi. If you need to buy some things in our shop, you can pop in and get a few things here and there as you go back to Nairobi. This is to say that Promise Place is your place of stopover if you are on this highway. If you need restroom, if you need a snack, whatever else you need, you can stop by our place and sample our hospitality. Thank you. So, having said that, today I want to talk about a topic that I keep talking about because it is very dear in my heart today. And it is informed by the fact that our society is ailing with issues that I think if this topic is handled correctly, we stand at a vantage point to inform the upcoming generation to evade the Holocaust that is coming in our social space. The topic today I want to discuss is the effect of underfathered generation. The effect of underfathered generation. Today, we are having a crisis in our society. And allow me to start with a few statistics here. In a study done in the US, some many years ago, I think way back in 1998, by National Institute of Justice under the Justice Office of the US, came up with some startling statistics. And that is many years ago. We are talking about 1998 should be around 26 or thereabout years ago. So it's not yesterday. And you can imagine now what has happened to the statistics I'm going to read. They found out that the presence of a father is priceless. The fatherless problems are evident in a society. 90% of all homeless and runaway children at that point in US grew up without a father. 85% of children who show behavior disorders came from fatherless homes. 85% of rapists motivated by displaced anger are from fatherless homes. 71% of all high school dropouts came from a home without a father. I know this is a very emotive discussion to have. And I am having this discussion with all humility, in full recognition that we find ourselves in some situations that we don't dictate. I want to talk about the presence of a father in children. By father, I don't just mean a biological father. By father, I mean the office, not the event of fathering. I'm talking about the office of a father. The office of the father. What is the biggest purpose of the office of the father? Who is a father? And what do you expect from a father? I want to read you something. The purpose of the father is three. And the first one is provision. The second one is protection. And the third one is direction. Provision, protection, and direction. In this society that we live in, we have found ourselves in places that we do not wish ourselves to be. We have a lot of children who have not been raised or are not raised by their fathers, not because this is what their mothers would have wanted, but it has happened by default. I am such a child. I personally was not raised by my father. And I am glad that God, through his own miraculous ways and ingenious ways, provided a space where my grandfather played the father's role. And that's why today I've come to talk about the presence of a father, not as the seed giver, but the person that influences or plays a part in raising or shaping the kids through the three functions that I've spoken about. It is true that you'll find yourself today as a single mother, not because of anything you did to become a single mother. Maybe sometimes because of factors beyond your ability. And I should always give a lot of respect to those women out there who are single mothers and braved everything, every kind of stories that was spoken about you, every kind of the mudslinging that were thrown your way. You were ostracized by society, but you did not give up. And I usually say this is always my mantra, that anything else could have been a mistake in your life, but not your child, not your baby. Anything else, underline this, anything else could have been a mistake in your life, but not your baby. The baby daddy could have been a mistake. The circumstances in which this baby came could have been a mistake, but not your baby. So I am here to tell you that I am very proud of you because of the step that you took to keep the pregnancy and gave us the gift of that baby. So from that place, now that you have a baby, is where I want us to talk about. How do we go forth? Because the way the world is, God saw it fit to have a binary personality, that there's a father and there's a mother. There's a man and there's a woman. And so the two comes together to give a society a complete kind of next generation. So how do we feel this place that the deadbeat father has left? I want to say that God is very, very considerate. You'll find that in as much as you don't have a father, you have either a grandfather, or you have an uncle, or you have a family friend, and God is so faithful that in your circle, there will always be that one man or two men that can be looked up upon by a generation. And this is a wake-up call I'm calling to all fathers out there, me included. If you know you are a responsible father, you have not just been called to father your child, you've been called to father a generation. The young men, the young women that are within your reach are your responsibility. Single mothers, I want to ask you to try and consider that if your child has a grandfather, if your child has an uncle, if your brother is there, if a person within the society is willing and welcoming to mentor or to walk the journey of fatherhood with your child, please do. I know that also brings some complications because sometimes single women, for one reason or the other, will be said to be trying to do things that may not be very pleasing to the society. But nevertheless, I know God will always provide. If your heart is looking for somebody to mentor your son or your daughter, in as far as the role of a father is concerned, God will provide that. Why am I saying this? Because a father is a very, very important figure in the society. Even the Bible that we have today do not consider a father, a child that has grown up with a father, to be an orphan. God in his word here say that he is a father to the fatherless and the husband to the widows. But there is no place that he will say that he is the wife to the widower. And in any place that a father is present, this is not considered to be a vacuum. Why? Because the responsibility of a father in a child is so enormous, but it has been downplayed by the fact that in our day-to-day life, we are not spending with the kids. When a kid has the father in their life, they have a backbone in terms of confidence, in terms of the what we call emotional intelligence, or the way to relate with the society. Why? Because men, as opposed to women, men are more occupational than relational. And so you'll find that a man reasons or lives by the head as opposed to the heart. Women infer more often, and is a very important component of life, as it were. But men will live by what they find to be reasonable or logical in life. We reason through patterns of life. This is a very critical thing to a child when they are growing up, because it is part and parcel of what group makes them aware of their environment. It is what makes them get confidence in that I solved A, B, C, D with my dad, so I can solve E, F, G, H on my own. I am telling you today that the effect of a father in a society, sometimes even being present, sometimes you don't have to do anything. You just have to demonstrate. You just have to role model. And I am telling you, time and again, those of you who have lived with your kids, you realize that if you come home unexpected, there are instances you'll find your kids playing your role. I have on numerous occasions when my son was young, I would come home and the first thing I would hear him say, I am dad, and go and sit. Today I'm dad here. Go sit on where I sit and try to do the things I do. Not necessarily because I've told him you must do this and you must not do that. It's because he observes me do those things. And so this underscores the importance of a dad in a son's life. Similarly, girls who grow up with and in the presence of a father figure, they grow up with a certain level of confidence that they are able to face the world without necessarily getting intimidated by or mesmerized by things. Why? Because their father becomes their first love. They become their confidence. They can become the first people who take them out on a date, such that today I take my daughters for coffee. They are young, but we go with them for coffee. We do the things that are done out there. We go for movies with them. And this goes a long way in instilling that confidence in them. You should see them when I announce unexpectedly in the house and I ask, what do you guys think that we go for a walk and probably catch a cup of coffee on our way? You can see the way they get elated by just that statement. They want to be around their dad. And when I reflect back, when I was growing up, anytime my grandfather would want to walk and visit a relative or visit a friend, and he would tag me along, spending the whole day with my grandfather is one of the things that is still etched in my mind. Anytime we would go with my grandfather to a hotel and he buys me mandazi or tea, it's something that I shall never forget. I am saying this. Whatever you do not underestimate the presence of a father. This is a call up and to responsible fathers out there. If you are a man, make sure that no child that is within your reach, whether that which you have fathered or that is within the society where their parents allows you to interact with them, please make sure that you impact them. Because if you impact them, you impact the coming generation, and we bequeath the coming generation a balanced family or a balanced human beings that will be coming to life. I want to thank you very much, and I hope that as you listen to this cast, that you catch this and you catch the message that I'm trying to pass. There will always be people out there who like to twist and catch things the way they want to, but I know majority of you who are listening to me understand the reason why I am saying what I'm saying. God bless you and have a lovely, lovely fathering time. You can catch us up on our social media platform, that is YouTube, on Chomba Talk, Facebook and Chomba Talk, and Martin Chomba on Facebook and Instagram, as well as TikTok. I love you and God bless you. Thank you.